Hey guys, as I play the game with more and more people, I want to talk a little about the social etiquette of multiplayer. Unlike the previous video, where I talked about the multiplayer meta strategies in Fatalis, this one is going to focus more on multiplayer gameplay in general, excluding some of the more obvious conventions, such as don't be a prick in chat. I want to go over some of the things new players may end up doing that can annoy players in the lobby without even realizing it. Having committed more than enough social blunders myself, I can relate to the feeling that you might be inadvertently isolating yourself from the rest of the community without your knowledge. And so, I'm here to make sure that everyone is included in the wonderful Monster Hunter community. The first thing that hunters new to the concept of multiplayer should be aware of is the party setup menu. When you first start a hunt, you will see a ready check take place amongst all the players. This is a step that Capcom added so all players can indicate if they are still preparing for a hunt or if they are ready to go. If you are the host of the quest, you will have the ability to choose when to depart. But if you depart before someone is prepared, they are automatically dropped from the quest. To prevent any miscommunication, I advise that hosts hit the ready button and calmly wait for your party to finish preparation. If a player is taking too long, for example, longer than a minute, you can ask if they're finishing up. Conversely, if you realize that everyone is ready and you're going to be a small while, it's nice to give your team a heads up so they know they can watch an anime episode while they wait for your slow ass. Another important thing to keep in mind is that certain weapons have what is commonly known as an upswing. As funny as it is to watch your friends die in a fiery inferno, most random players you come across will not be as receptive to your buffoonery. If you are using weapons such as the greatsword, switchaxe, charge blade, or hammer, you should be aware that some attacks will bring your teammates into the air. While aerial attacks are good to get that mounting attack, I doubt your party members would appreciate having their TCS-3 cancelled by a straight upswing. Trust me, I know the feeling. The next thing is something that should be going without saying, but as it turns out, I have heard horror stories from my community about the next point. The point is the issue of leeching in multiplayer hunts. Multiplayer is a collaborative effort, and all members of the party are expected to participate in helping in the kill. It is understandable that some monsters are very difficult, and that putting yourself in harm's way can likely result in a failed quest. However, think about it this way. If the party completed the hunt for you, yes, you get the materials, but you have gotten no experience in the game, or learned anything from the hunt. When it comes that you need to complete the hunt again, or you need to continue onwards to the next hunt, you would once again need to sit at camp and let others finish the hunt for you. Not only would it take away from your enjoyment in the long term, it is also likely that you will be the subject of the public lobby's ire when you finish the hunt. Believe me when I say, embrace the carp. It's part of the game. On that note, I want to talk a little bit about modding. Modding has become a big part of the game, so much so that you can even say that it is a core component of the gameplay. One of the most prolific mods is Hunter Pie, an overlay that can display almost everything about the hunt, such as monster HP and part break progress. One of the most common applications of Hunter Pie is damage overlays, which can display each player's average damage per second. I would like to thank my community for submitting this footage, as I have a personal policy to avoid damage parsers and third-party overlays. Generally speaking, these damage overlays are fine in public lobbies, as long as you keep it low-key. If you plan on using these mods, it is generally frowned upon to talk about the party damage performance without being explicitly asked or having received prior consent. For the sake of your party member sanity, keep your damage checks among yourself and your friends. Out of all the multiplayer pet peeves that I mentioned thus far, nothing upsets me more than the next one. As many of us can guess, not all players share the same sentiment regarding mods. Additionally, the community usually prefers it if players that run mods keep it to themselves. For example, if you want to give all characters massive knockers, or put body parts on monsters, it is okay, because they do not affect the experience of other players. However, the line is drawn when modded weapons come into play. Going to hunts with overtuned weapons and weapons that can one-shot monsters are generally frowned upon. I want to emphasize that I don't mind if you use those weapons on your own time or in private, but bringing them into a public lobby without the group's consent is a surefire way to end up in one or two blacklists. I want everyone to enjoy the game as much as I do, but I would not wish for that enjoyment to compromise the enjoyment of others. If you know of an action you do not think is tolerable in a multiplayer, post them in the comments below. Otherwise, if you think that I am insane for any of my points, feel free to call me out. I hope you all have a good hunt, and I'll see you all next time.